I loves me some 1 degree of chunky B.
We got it going?
We are, it's me and you, man.
Hey, you know something? I got to tell you something about this podcast and other people's podcasts and the world of podcasts. We have got such a strong show that it's too good not to be worldwide. Yeah. And what we're doing here, and I know that normally when we do construction, you break out your checkbook and hire people to do it. But I think we're going to build interiorly. Is that a word?
Yeah. It's background noise.
You can hear somebody.
Yeah. I think someone's watching Jeopardy.
Okay, all I'm saying is 1 degree of chunky B, people. Thank you for your patience. We feel the need to grow. We are now experiencing growing pains.
Yeah, we're coming up on our 100th episode.
Right.
That's an incredible milestone. We remember back when we first started, like the first one with Ryan Sickler.
Oh my God!
Was that crazy?
I do not want anyone
Remember,
ever to see that.
I think the power went out or something weird happened.
Yeah.
And no, you got a phone call
in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
And we got Ryan Sickler from the Crab Feast.
Yeah.
That's one of the best podcasts in the country. Yeah. And I know you knew it. I didn't even know it back then. What a big player he is in the game of podcasts. Yeah,
Sickler and Larson, man, those guys are powerhouses.
They're awesome.
Yeah, and we've both been on their show, and they've both been on our show. So,
yes. So what we have to start
shout out to the Crab Feast, baby.
Yeah, and there's another one I got to that I've been learning and experiencing. I got to tell you, and it's I got in touch with these people the other day, and they're really.
You love it so much you have to look them up. You forgot.
Well, no,
you're on a first name basis with these guys.
What It Did podcast. I'm not even.
What It Did.
What It Did.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Grammatically, that's not correct, right?
Right. That's how sassy it is.
Okay.
But they're giving you pop culture, and sometimes I'm not really in the mood for pop culture, but I like the way these people are delivering.
They're sassy.
Yeah, and I was listening to it today, and they were talking about Adele, talking about is Adele going to be doing a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself today.
Yeah. And then what you've got
I'm just trying to be part of the conversation.
I think she said no. I think she said
is that
no.
Right? Thank God.
But the people over at What It Did podcast, I reached out to you. You reached back. I love what you guys are doing, and hopefully you're going to love what's happening in here in the Garage of Love, and spread the love. Check this out. The opposite of that podcast.
Yeah.
Joey Coco Diaz.
You like Joey Coco Diaz?
I just been, I told you just at dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Like, something, we're expanding and we're learning other people's grooves.
That's right.
This guy is like a badass. And he's been around for a long time. And I've known him.
So we're basically saying to our audience that if you like this podcast, you'll probably dig this guy. Go check him out.
Right.
Yeah.
And go on Instagram and, track him down, Joey Diaz. Something flavor. Oh my God, I should probably write this shit down. But check it out. Look him up. He's really a badass. He's smoking bowls on his thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about nobody.
That's right, baby.
And he's a comedian with a great podcast. So that's that. We're rebuilding. We're
gonna redesign the website.
Yes.
We're gonna make it a little more user friendly.
Right.
And a little less duct tapey. We're going to try.
Yeah.
We're going to clean up our act a little bit, people.
You know something? Changing the subject. Oh, wait a second. Check this out.
Oh, I got to talk about something.
Yeah, I know you do. I can tell. You guys, when I asked you guys to leave messages last week.
Oh, did you give your phone number out?
I know.
Oh, has that aired yet?
No, that one hasn't aired yet.
Okay.
But check this out. And you can see the papers in front of me. I don't have it. I wish I had it in front of me. This one dude wrote something, left me a message. I think it was in like Iowa or something like that, and his name was Eddie. And sometimes I make fun of because I used Eddie, but this guy was Edward or something. I wish I had a piece of paper in front of me.
What are you looking for?
A second. His note, because I rewrote
this
it.
Makes for a really boring show.
Check it out. Man. I found it.
Okay.
I found it.
This is the message?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
This is his message he left.
Okay.
He goes, I felt like I just hung out with my buddies, talking shit with no rhyme or reason. We've got a little bit of rhyme.
I mean, there's some reason.
Yeah.
There's within podcasting.
And check out what this guy says. Laughing at stuff that's not that funny. Edwin, This shit is funny.
But you know what? Chunky is guilty of that.
Yeah.
I will say that. He gets a little excited.
Okay,
sometimes.
and he goes on with, I told a couple of friends next week they are coming over to hang in my garage and listen
Get
to
the
you
fuck outta
in
here.
yours.
Get out of here, man.
And then he goes on to say something so clever.
Okay.
May your duck come in flocks. Meaning
Yeah.
beer
Our sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of a case, we're gonna a flock of duck.
Oh, that'd be all. Oh, that's how they should sell it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
in 6-packs.
Right?
In
a
flocks.
flocks.
Damn.
Isn't that funny? And then
Fuck that.
and he goes, and the glow keep you young.
Nice. He's getting a little cryptic with our sponsors, but I love it.
No kidding.
What's his name? Edward?
Edwin.
Edwin.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
You're the man.
Dude, what's on your mind?
I almost owned an island, Chunk. Yeah.
Gilligan's?
That's the tease. That's the tease.
Break it down.
Okay, so I'm at a red light in the right-hand lane, getting ready to turn right. Okay, got the picture?
Yes.
Costco and that pet place is in front of me. It's Glencoe. So I'm taking a right on Washington. And it's an arrow, but it's a red arrow, okay?
Right.
So there's about 5 cars in front of me, 10 cars behind me. The arrow turns green. 4 cars go. The guy in front of me starts to go. Then he just stops. Dead stop. It's still green. And he turns on his navigation system, which is on the dashboard.
Yes.
And it's an Uber driver. Okay?
Gotcha.
So I lay on the horn. A little obnoxiously, I will say. Like, I laid on the fucking horn.
Gotcha.
He got out of his car, took his tie off, came around to my window. I rolled my window down. And he starts jawing at me. And I'm like, what are you going to do? He starts jawing at me. And he goes, I should knock that smile off your face. Because I was like laughing.
Oh,
and
my
I
God.
leaned out the window and I said, please do it. Right now. Please do it. I had Wesley in the car with me. And he had his phone. And I was like, Uber will buy me an island. Right now. But he wouldn't do it. He got back in his car and he took off.
I cannot believe you rolled down the window.
Yeah.
Ballsy move. And I can't believe the Uber driver was wearing a tie.
Yeah, I know. and while, you know what? Look, I got a little douchey with him while he was walking back to his car. I said, "How do you like your job?"
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I said something about Florida because I figured he was probably from Florida.
And there's nothing wrong, people.
No, because
There's
I'm from Florida.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with being an Uber driver.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
And I was being douchey.
How do you stop something? Because you can't do the thing if your car's moving, right?
Can't do the navigation.
map,
Oh,
yeah.
the Waze.
Yeah.
No, you can now. You just hit passenger.
Oh.
Yeah, it comes
I got
up.
you.
But here's the thing. And if the guy was sitting here right now, I would, try and hug it out with the guy.
Sure.
Clearly he was pissed.
That's how you roll.
Yeah, and I would say, look, okay, let's talk this out. It was a green arrow. You were going, and then you stopped right before you turned right. You just stopped.
Right.
I had to slam on my brakes. Tell me, let's talk about the thought process here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Give
What
me
was he thinking?
Just take the turn. You got to turn anyway.
Take the turn, go into a parking lot.
Something.
You are in a very busy part of Venice Beach.
Yeah.
You're on Washington, straight across from
Costco, In and Out.
Costco is
Wells
crazy
Fargo,
right now. You see
all
all the
that.
construction?
It's craziness. So anyway, I got a little obnoxious. He got a little obnoxious. It didn't come to blows. I don't own an island. That's the end of the story.
But I love the fact that you thought you'd get an island out of the deal.
Oh, dude, I knew I was going to get an island. It was going to be in the shape of the Uber logo.
With a freshwater lake right in the middle. Oh, man. You guys, and Adler, I know that this is a fun-loving podcast.
Yeah.
But for some reason, something's sucking me in when I go to the internet, and there's a whole subculture of people that truly, truly believe with all their heart the Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England, is part lizard.
Well,
and I'm not.
there's no fact stating she's not either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's no real DNA test.
Right. But I now mention that to a couple friends of mine that I've known for 20 years, and they have told me they totally 100% agree.
Oh, really?
If someone said, "Hey, yeah, the Queen of
She's one of the lizard people.
yes," and I'm going to ask you right now, and we're going to talk about it next week.
Okay. You know, a huge part of my family is English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to look this up. And I saw a video, maybe 5 minutes long,
Yeah.
that this girl with an English accent was reading something well written about the Queen
lizard
of England
queen.
yeah. And there is a name for it, but of course, I'm
Really?
yeah. And in a parallel situation, there are people to this day, loud and proud, thinking the Earth is flat.
Is that true?
That's
Like, it looks like our table here.
yes.
Yeah.
But
But why would they think that?
because there's no flights going from Australia to South Africa. You've got to go around the other way. How come? This guy was asking me, how come there's no flights that way? Because it's got to go the other way. Because it goes straight up into the sky.
What the fuck is he talking about, man?
That's what I'm telling you. We need to invest.
Are there really people that believe this?
Yes. There's people. Yes.
Come
Adler.
on.
And I want to let you know.
I mean, look, there are crazy people, especially in our country.
I want to let you know, in a podcast in the very near future, maybe even next week's podcast,
Yeah.
I've already booked
Queen Elizabeth? The Lizard Queen?
Lizard Queen.
Yes.
I've got this.
You know
I
everybody.
went online. I've been studying the internet and what's trending, what's deep, what's so out of this world.
Yeah.
And this guy is he's going to come in and he's going to spend 15, 20 minutes on the paranormal.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
Should we do a little seance or something?
maybe we should.
Oh, my God.
Because
Should we bring back the Wizard of the Knobs?
we should probably have him on our speakerphone.
Let's just try and get him back with
Okay.
kinetic energy.
Okay, listen to me. Travis Spencer, the Wizard of the Knobs, the man who's the glue that keeps this show from breaking up.
That's right.
If you could come in next week,
Oh, the paranormal. He loves that
Yes.
shit. Yeah.
because he's had a
He
podcast,
had a podcast
dedicated
called Apocalyptic Times.
Which
You
is-
can look it up and still check out
now,
some
which
shit.
I think right now, at the time, I was like, what the... Now I think is brilliant. So
Yeah.
we should have him come in, and Travis, you can crash here if you want to. He's driving.
Yeah.
Bring your lady. Doesn't matter. And I want to start tapping into not only what these people believe, but what type of person.
Yeah, just
actually-
one show, though. Like,
Yeah,
not
no,
a
yeah,
whole
just one show.
series or anything.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
not us.
But I want someone to try to convince us that the Queen is a lizard.
Right, or that the Earth is flat.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Are you okay
Right.
with that?
Or that Seacrest is talented.
Yes.
Yeah, like the paranormal.
Don't get me on Seacrest, because I'll tell you one thing. I've watched the American Idol.
Yeah.
And I watched him at the Olympics. The man never messes up.
It's the same guy. It's the same. It might be. Okay.
Could he be-
Is Seacrest a robot?
Write that down.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because let's ask that guy. Because that could be true more
Yeah.
than even the
Right.
Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah. So when I was doing a pre-interview for this guy named Andrew, who's going to be on our show,
Yeah.
he says he's got a story about the death of his grandparents that will freak us out.
Really?
And he started to do this whole mathematical thing. They died on the same day, 8 years apart, at 8 o'clock.
Oh my God!
And then,
I already got douche chills.
right. And
Yeah.
he shows, look at my arm. He had goosies.
Yeah.
And his hair was sticking straight up.
Wow.
And then he kept going, and then my hair got. So you know
Oh.
something? I am not saying you people are freaks. I'm saying pitch us, talk to us,
Yeah.
convince us normal folk. Because
Yeah.
you know something? I myself represent the average American. You know something? I am right in between Los Angeles and New York.
Yeah.
Not physically. I live, of course, we're in LA. But I am middle America. I am the mentor to the mediocre. I'm the Duke of your dilemma. I am the most average human being you'll know.
You strive for mediocrity.
Mediocrity rules the world.
Yeah.
So
You're the best at mediocrity.
I am at the top of my game.
Of mediocrity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually am comfortable.
Yeah, because look, second place, nobody.
No one
no
tries
one's
to not-
after second. What place are you in a race if you pass the guy in second place?
You are in second place.
That's exactly right. Good
Dude,
job.
can you
Good
believe
job.
I got that?
Yeah, that was tough. Good one.
You know something? Ask your friends that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do that again.
And by the way, that's a puzzle from Idiot Test on Game Show Network.
oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of the puzzles. It was one of the first episodes, I think.
Yeah.
And the question is, if you're in a race and you pass the guy in second, what place are you in? Most people say
First.
first place. but it's second place.
Yeah, right. And you know what I said to my son a couple months ago? If you're holding your hand out 3 feet and you divide it in half each time, how many times is it going to take your hand to touch your chest?
And if the answer is infinity.
Infinity.
Yeah.
But
unless your meaty hands will touch it at about 2, you know what I mean? Like 1, I touched.
Yeah. But you know something? Then that starts to boggle my mind. You get right there and you got to do a half of an inch, then the quarter, the boom, and then you're going to.
Then you're splitting atoms, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff.
That is crazy.
You're in other universes. You know what trips me out is that things that are small look like things that are enormous. In other words, if you look at a single cell, like a cancer cell, or if you look at like an amoeba or let's say blood, like really up close.
Right.
And then if you zoom out into the universe and take a look at like a galaxy or even like New York City from a satellite view, it's the same. It looks the same.
So, okay, are you saying we're all intertied?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's many universes from big to small.
Right.
Yeah.
But that does that go into the paranormal type thing?
I'm not so sure. More science, I would say.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's what something. We're going to stay to our game at 1 degree of Chunky B, and we're going to have some of the best guests. But let's not.
That's a good little tease.
Let's not be afraid of what's out there.
Yeah.
You guys, we'll be back
right after this, or whatever.
Hey, you guys, Chunky B, 1 degree of Chunky B in the garage of love, and if you want to get your quack on, you go to Venice Duck. And I'm not even kidding. This is a good beer. Tell your friends. Don't be afraid to get your quack on. Dude, this is actually really good beer.
It's fucking great beer.
You're so lucky.
Oh shit, I'm still recording.
Hey, you guys, music provided by Play Up Music. That's playupmusic.com.
I'm director Tony McCuin, and you're tuned in to 1 Degree of Chunky B.
Black is the night that holds you down. Black is the night that holds you down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another glorious day, another glorious week. I don't know what's going on in the universe, but things are coming together. Our moons are in line. 1 degree of Chunky B in the garage of love is going in the right direction. Gary, I could not have done it without you.
Why, thank you, Chunky.
And I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, around the United States and around the world, please give it up for Gary Adler, executive producer of Love.
Thank you very much. And I'll just remind you, we're coming up on our 100th episode, Chunky B.
100 episodes.
Isn't that crazy? Like almost 2 years ago, we got this thing started.
And I want to let you know, I've been looking and researching on how to get in touch with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, that's awesome.
If we can get in touch with Kevin Bacon and get him on the show.
On the 100th episode.
It'd be crazy.
On the 100th
That's it. We could drop the
Andy
mics.
Davey, before you say a word, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Andy Davey.
Andy.
and Travis.
The manimal, Andy Davey.
Travis of the Knobs, who's taking over whatever part of the country he's in. But we know what you do. And
thank you, Chunky B.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
For being the host of this show.
Good job,
Hey,
Chunky B.
you guys know that I'm not allowed to drink anymore because of legal reasons.
Because we're within 300 yards of a school, I think, right? Something like that.
If you are Venice Duck, Lucky Duck, it's the beer when you want to get your flock on. And can you believe that we did have a message from a guy from Iowa said, may your duck come in flocks.
Yeah.
So instead of now, we're going to tell John Henry Binder and Christian Warren from Lucky Duck or Venice Brewery, you guys don't call it a six-pack. Call it a flock.
A flock of ducks.
Yeah, a flock of ducks.
Perfect.
Yeah, and please.
And by the way, I was at Guns N' Roses, Dodger Stadium, and got myself a Venice Duck.
Isn't it crazy that they're still at Venice? Our little friends that said, hey, I got an idea for a beer.
Yeah, started draining the Venice canals to make this stuff.
Well, they got to do something with that.
And you know something? Everyone needs to moisturize.
From the inside out.
And I want to tell you right now, Astaglow.
Don't laugh, man.
I'm not
It's
laughing.
one of our sponsors.
I'm not.
Astaglow, thank you for all the smoothness. And I feel younger. And listen to me.
Did you say smoothness?
Yes. And it goes like this, people. Before the sun, during the sun, and after the sun. Don't be a son of a bitch.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Yeah, I usually ask the sport, Chunk.
Because you're a sporty individual.
Yeah. When I get out of the water, I surf a lot. It's rough on the skin, Andy.
Oh,
Yeah,
It
and
is.
so I use a little Asta
I
sport.
was wondering about
You know,
that.
when I'm done surfing.
What's
Surfing,
You're
it's
done
rough on the
surfing.
skin.
It
I
mixes-
hit the pier a lot.
It mixes with sand well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm sensing a little funkiness today. Are we going to be like, oh, we're laughing again?
I think we're doing sort of Carnival Barker radio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
get back to us.
Let's get back. Okay, we ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you're WKRP 101.9 on your FM dial, Raleigh, North Carolina, we're coming at you loud and proud, and we got a show for you today. And let me tell you why I'm semi-nervous. Okay, I met this guest of ours.
Yeah.
I say like 3, maybe 4 years ago at the NFL Network. And I'm just like this new camera guy on the scene, and everybody's like, Tony this, Tony that. Then I go over to Fox, right?
Yeah.
Same thing at Fox Sports.
Everyone's wearing his
Yeah.
ass like a hat.
Yeah. Tony this, Tony that. So without further ado, it gives me great honor, and I just gave myself some chills right here.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tony McCuin.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You know what? It's almost like we have a real show, Chunk, today.
When you have a badass like Tony McCuin,
Yeah.
and the funny thing is, everyone's just like, even before I met Tony was like, oh, Tony's here, Tony's there, Tony's like this, the cool director.
Yeah.
And once I got a chance to work with him, I understood it. Tony, say hello to America.
Hello, America. Glad to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome.
Right on.
Thanks for being on.
Tony, I want you to set the table for us. I sometimes people are like, oh, do you have to ask the simple questions? I want to know where you're from, where were you born, your childhood, if there was a mom and dad on the scene, and I have the privilege to know your brother Timmy.
Yes.
So break down your family's story from the beginning.
Well, I was born. I always, every time I hear that, I just want to see raise a poor black child. That's the first thing that comes to my
That's
mind.
what Andy always
I
says.
just can't freaking help that. I don't know why. But that's the first thing that hits me. But I was born in a little town called Tyler, Texas.
Oh,
which
Tyler,
is
Texas.
home of Sandy Duncan and Earl Campbell is all we got. So that's
my God.
That's
pretty
enough
much
to go on.
But you know what? Tyler, Texas, was there a song written about Tyler, Texas or
I
something?
don't know. It is. I was just
Sounds
there not
very
too long
familiar.
ago. It's pretty much the same
Yeah.
size. Nothing's changed much there. And then moved to Fort Worth and then eventually California. So moved to California when I was around about 11, 12 years old.
What was that like, just being from Texas?
Oh my gosh.
A black kid from Texas moves to California.
That is correct. So
Yeah.
you nailed it. And we moved to South Central LA. So
Wow.
that's where I grew up, was pretty much in South Central LA.
No kidding.
My
It
entire
was.
life.
Did you have any other brothers and sisters besides Tim?
I had a sister, Leah
Yeah.
Tasha. That is correct.
Okay.
But that was it. That was, and she wasn't even born then. So it was just me and Tim. And
Now, did you just get immediately jumped into the crypts
Oh my
or
God,
what, dude? Like,
damn
what?
near. Damn near. Because we didn't know what gangs were.
Yeah.
That's not how we roll. That's not what we did. But we managed to survive. I very strict parents. So my parents have been together a good chunk of their entire lives. So my dad was a hardcore guy who didn't take any madness, and he made sure that we didn't get caught up in anything stupid.
Church going or no?
No, yes, no. We showed up on Easter, and my mom would drag us out of the hallway and into the car to make us go.
Right.
But my dad, he was busy watching the Cowboys. So
And that explains why you're
that-
crazy.
that is correct.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But when you're in Compton, and you're
South Central, so it wasn't Compton.
Yeah, South Central. And you're growing up, and you went to high school there.
I wind up going to high school during that time. I went to elementary school and junior high school. And then at that time, they were doing this whole volunteer busing. Remember in the 80s? That
Yeah.
got really popular, sending inner city kids to the valley?
That's right.
My-
and to like Pally High.
That is
all
correct.
that, yeah.
In my case, I went to John F. Kennedy High School.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In San Fernando Valley. And it was my mom who insisted. I just knew that I was going to play basketball at Dorsey High School or Crenshaw High School. That's what I thought I was going to do. I already had it laid out that I was going to do. And my mom was like, no, you're going out to the valley. And I got bussed out to the valley. Now in the end,
So you could have hung with Snoop and you ended up hanging with Pauly Shore.
Exactly. In fact, it wasn't even as, they had a great program and it was all good. And in the end, was it a better move? Yeah. Not necessarily because whether school was better or not better, but it definitely showed me diversity.
Yeah.
And just, seeing other folks and working with different people. So it played a role.
You're a tall man,
6'3".
athletic man. Did you get a chance to? Did you play ball in high school?
Yes, I did.
And how'd that feel?
Oh, I was average at best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good run. I had a good time. I had a lot of good players on my team that was during the '80s. Sort of, had a lot of guys at Crenshaw. John Williams at Crenshaw High School. You had, places like different places where they had like Daryl Strawberry was a basketball player at the time at Crenshaw as well. So there was a lot of you'd be amazed at how many local athletes that we had that were just all over. That were all UCLA and crazy. Guys like Marcus Johnson, who came out of Crenshaw High School, and he had a legacy at Crenshaw where they were dropping D1 players left and right. So during the time of the '80s in California, if you played ball, you were amongst some of the best, literally, in the country.
It doesn't matter back in the '80s what high school you went to. How did you avoid getting on that party train?
I gotta tell you, it was.
Or were you on it?
I was on it.
Oh, okay.
I was on it, but not crazy on it. Just on it a little bit. I had great friends, and like I said, I got along well with everyone. Right. It just never went down. My parents it was just not going to go down.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that I was, as they say, a homeboy and in the house the entire time or anything like that. But they were just very strict. They knew exactly what they wanted from me. And look, did I get my share of trouble? Yes. Was I the kid that had his first beer? Probably shouldn't have got behind the wheel, and like everybody did in high school parties and the whole thing. Absolutely.
Right. And your brother, did he kind of go in your footsteps?
Yes, a little bit. Tim went to the same schools that I did, so she definitely wanted to keep us together. But Tim was definitely the wild one of the two.
Yeah. And if you hear a periodical knock on,
Be careful with your ring there.
No, it's this watch.
Oh, it's the watch? I thought it was the ring.
No.
Oh.
Dude, you've got a watch on. Go ahead. Can you show that and tell us what the hell that is?
This is a Mont Blanc.
Yeah, and listen, folks, he's going to be long gone by the time you see this. So don't try and come over and jack him. You know what I'm saying?
With the rose gold face on it and the whole shebang.
I like it.
You know something? This is a classy individual.
I can tell, man.
And he likes
way too classy for us.
Right. And he likes his toys. And one of his favorite toys is a vehicle. And I'm not a car guy.
Yeah.
But tell everybody, what's your baby?
My baby is a 1971 black convertible Chevelle Super Sport.
Ooh, the SS.
That is correct. It's custom with a Corvette LS6 motor, 6-speed transmission with wireless paddle shifters.
Oh my god.
4-speed automatic with
Like a
Italian
resto
leather.
mod.
That is correct. Complete Hotchkiss suspension with Boyd Coddington wheels, Bilstein shocks all the way around.
Damn.
Custom everything, top to bottom.
Love it.
He drove that. I saw him a couple months ago over at Fox.
That thing's a traffic stopper.
It is an absolute. I mean, guys are taking sharp pictures on the road and Instagramming. In fact, it's more dangerous to the dude next to me than by far me because they literally stop on 405. Yeah.
Were you in the television department in high school?
I was the dude in junior high school. Remember when they used to bring around the little film projector and you chill to the?
That was Andy.
Yeah, exactly. I was that dude in that class.
But he hasn't gone very far. Look.
This is a step up.
That's right.
Barely.
So I was that dude that did that, for a while in junior high school, and Billy, a tide pool is formed, and it was always
how to click the thing,
exactly.
right? Click the thing.
Bell and So it was that whole thing that I did for a while, and then television was really interesting for me because I was a single dad. Not really, I wouldn't use the word single dad, but I was a young dad at 18 years old.
Oh wow.
So.
Yeah, that's young, very young dad.
Very young dad at 18 years old, and so.
How pissed were your parents?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, that didn't go exactly the way they had planned. And she's a wonderful lady, still friends to this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's absolutely fantastic. Couldn't ask for a better mom for my older son. And I was obviously, I mentioned, a child of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching Miami Vice. And that whole Phil Collins, Something in the Air Tonight with a side mount on a Ferrari Daytona, I said, whatever that guy's doing, that's what I want to do. And we're sitting in a little singles apartment in West Hollywood. And I remember watching that and the sparks hitting off of the Ferrari and the whole thing. I went, I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm in.
Nice.
And so I want to say maybe about 2 weeks later, I signed up to be an intern at Century Cable Public Access, which was then Group W, down in Santa
Group W
Monica
Cable.
Yes.
on Nebraska.
Yes.
And I signed up to be an intern there.
Channel 3 cable
That
access.
is correct. And I directed all the Channel 3 stuff, cable access.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you walk in there not knowing shit.
I didn't know jack about jack, but I just knew I wanted to do that. So while I'm there, at this time, cable is just starting to blossom, but it isn't what it is yet. Remember, you had like Z Channel or some side stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Wasn't really a lot. Well, some guy started a cable network, and it was called UTV. Those who know where it is, supposed to be like Lifetime. Anyway, everybody takes up and they leave because this guy's offering everybody a job who he runs into. They all leave, and basically the last guy there goes, "You there? You want a job as a director?"
You're kidding.
And I said yes.
Nice.
And once I got in the chair, I never got out.
Wow. What a great
Are
story,
you
man.
kidding? Another goosebumps.
Yeah, cable access to NFL Network.
It's total success.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so once I got in, so my style, which is different than a lot of other directors, is taken from every director that I've ever seen.
Do you think you could have done this in Texas?
No.
No way, right?
No, not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this. And not, I made unusual leaps. So I went from Group W Cable, then I went to KC24 in Fresno, the NBC affiliate. And so while I was at KC24, and I just took the weekend job, I was just a weekend director. What are the odds that when I happen to be the weekend director, they just happen to also be the same day of the OJ chase?
Oh, wow.
Are you serious?
And
So you were directing.
I was at that time, if you'll remember, it was the Rockets taking on the Knicks.
That's
in the
right. I was
NBA
watching the
Finals.
game in Santa Monica. I heard the sirens
And
come by.
we're all watching this chase on the feed. Like, look at this chase, look at this chase. And I said, you know what'd be really cool? We should 2-box it.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
so I put it in a 2-box, and we got our guy on. Bud Elliott, I believe, was the
Bud Elliott.
Yep. And Bud was talking, and we 2-boxed the chase and the
game.
2-box.
And you were a hero.
And after that, the news director said, "Great job, blah blah blah." I got moved to the which is the big show, which is the 5 and 11 o'clock.
Wow.
I got the 5 and 11 o'clock, and then I go to, which is interesting enough, kind of bring it full circle. Hillary Clinton, as you know, just spoke at the National Association of Black Journalists not too long ago. Well, I was at that many years ago. I handed my tapes out and was just trying to hustle, and ESPN said, "We'd love to have you come on board."
Wow. Just from that, you hustled it up.
Yep.
Wow.
So went to ESPN, and I was there during the time when they were launching ESPN2, which was called The Deuce.
Right.
With Stuart Scott and
That's
Susie
right.
Colbert and all that stuff. And I was a part of all that stuff.
Fantastic,
So
man.
we pride ourselves here in the Garage of Love of being colorblind.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult was the path? Because any bullshit that you had to come across back then or to this day, is that still effing up the situation?
Do I notice? Yeah, I do. It definitely does make a difference, or you notice it. You always hear a lot of people of color say you have to be twice as good. The answer is yes.
Really?
With that being said, I take pride in kicking your ass.
Yeah, there you go.
So I take pride in being twice as good. Do I think it's fair? No. Am I down with it? No. But am I gonna fucking kick your ass? Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah, there you go.
So
That's
that's
what I'm talking about.
Do you ever get the guy, like you've been on set for 4 weeks, you drive up to the lot, there's a new security guy, and he's like, hang on, dude, like, where are you going? You know what I mean? Like, you ever get that guy?
I do. But really, where I learned, like you guys mentioned my watch, or you mentioned my style, or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, you're driving up in a Chevelle. I forgot.
Yeah. Well, no, I also drive a different car than that. My everyday car is a pretty good one too.
Yeah. What's your day car?
My day car is a BMW 650.
Hello. Yeah, mine is 649. Shit.
Wow, so close, so freaking close. But with that being said, I remember being on the set of Public Access, working on a little Public Access show, and a producer comes up and they say, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. It's to a 2-shot. It's to a blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have cameras over here. I'm going to do this, and this. Here's the script. Now show me where my director is. So with that being said, I looked at myself and I said, well, you're wearing this and a baseball hat. Yeah. Moving forward, there'll be no mistake who's the man.
Oh, good for you. So that was lesson learned, man.
Yep. So how I carry myself and how it's a bit of a, people talk about Dan Patrick, who I worked with at ESPN.
Right.
And I always remember hearing the story about Dan Patrick when he walked into arenas. He walked in like he belonged.
Yeah.
Like I'm just as important as Jordan. So you
Yes.
you act like you belong.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
know, and so I really kind of carry myself that way, is that it's not airs, it's not anything, it's just that I belong here.
Because listen, ultimately you realize in this town everyone's doing the same.
That is correct.
Right.
That is
right,
correct. So it's
right.
really kind of funny
Yeah.
that you do have I'm a director, and would you like extra foam on your latte?
That's
so
right.
you know, you're right. There is that moment. So there comes a point where you kind of just got to act like I belong. And now, to kind of spin that back to your question with regards to my color or my race, whatever it is, yeah, there is a barrier you have to fight through yourself in realizing that you do belong, because you've been told so many times that you don't. So
Right.
the first step you have to do is just kind of kick your own self in the head and go kick rocks. I'm not the black director, I'm the best director.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's usually kind of that space that I come from. Does it mean I'm not aware? Heck no, I'm aware every day. I'm reminded every day
Yeah.
that I'm a black man as well. But I always think that in the end, though I keep trying to prove this point, and sometimes it proves me wrong, that in the end, good TV is colorblind. And so that's
Well,
usually
good life is colorblind.
Yeah, that's really how I kind of roll with it.
Getting out of television, getting into society, is shit getting better or worse?
You know,
And should we leave the campaign out of this or bring it right into it?
I'm just talking about
Because
some of
that's
the-
life now. We got this douchebag running for president, you know.
this is
Right,
true,
right,
and
right.
because it's definitely getting worse now. Because there's no way that I can say, well, heck, you make all this money and you have all this stuff and you have this big house. Surely it must be good for you. No, if it's not good for all of us, then it ain't good for me either.
Right.
So, and that's really how I roll with regards to that. When you know, without getting overly into it, but when you talk about Black Lives Matter and some people feeling certain ways about it or not about it, I'm like, at the end of the day, that guy had his hands up and he's being shot. You know, and he didn't
What,
have
regardless?
a weapon. Yeah. I don't understand
Yeah.
you know, I don't understand the whole thing behind that. You know, and it's not a question of Blue Lives Matter or doesn't matter or anything like that, because here's the deal. Black lives matter to me, and I'm a black guy, right? You know what I'll be when I wake up in the morning? A black guy. When blue lives matter, you know what the option is? Not being a fucking blue guy.
Yeah.
You don't have you can always say, I'm not gonna be a cop anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
You have the option. When you're talking about black lives, you're talking about you don't have the option.
There's no option.
There is no uniform that you can take off and say, ha, I'm out, game over.
It still boggles my mind that color is an issue in anything.
It freaks me out.
Mine too.
Yeah.
It
Mine
doesn't
too.
make any sense. Like that somehow, because his color's darker than someone
Right,
else's,
right.
he can't direct the show as good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
I understand
what,
that.
what world are we living
But
in?
when I see that Bologna on television, like a new event of something going wrong against somebody,
Sure.
I'm thinking to myself, not another stupid act of just
Idiots.
Right.
yeah, but
Yeah.
idiots.
Right.
You know something? If it's racially driven, I just get so upset because it's nothing but stupidity.
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes me cringe.
Ignorance.
Yeah, yeah. And it's stupid hate. You know, hate the guy
misguided,
that cut you off in front of
Sure.
hate that Uber driver that got on your nerves, but hate him from a distance. Then get over it.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
get
right,
over
right.
it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not make it a lifestyle.
Let's not make it a
people.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, and you know, lucky for me, you know, like I said, if it's bad for all of us, if it's bad for me as well. Very blessed.
Yeah.
The companies that I work for, the people that I direct for, everything. Wow. All they saw was really cool camera shots.
Yeah.
And that's what works for me.
I got a question when you're ready.
Yeah, but I want to say something about Tony McCuin.
Yeah.
I've known him going on 4 years now, right? Never in my mind have you jumped into in my mind the category of flashy. You've always been a straight up guy walking in. You communicate with anybody, but I've never. You're not like bad little Roy Brown, or like putting his rings on everybody's nose. You know what I'm saying?
Not like Andy.
Yeah. And the thing,
About time you noticed.
That's right.
right. But when you see Tony standing next to that badass vehicle of his,
Yeah.
he's not sitting there like, look at my car. You have to see his face. It's like a kid
Yeah.
with a really cool
I enjoy
toy.
it. I enjoy
That's
it.
awesome.
And I've never thought of you cocky. I've never thought of you like, oh, I've got more toys than you.
Right.
Because I think you have a genuine enthusiasm
Oh,
of just
yeah.
liking
Oh
what it
yeah,
is.
absolutely. You can better believe when I'm doing something, it's because holy cow, I just like it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gotten to that point with regards to, I've waited a long time to get to a point to where I didn't have to direct every show that was offered to me, that I could actually be at a point to where I could direct what I wanted to
that's
direct.
nice.
And boy, I got to tell you, when the NFL says you want to do this, hell yeah. I love football and I love the NFL Network.
killer.
And when Fox says you want to do this UFC thing, I'm like, heck yeah, I love the UFC. And when BET is like, you want to do our gospel special? And I'm like, heck yeah, I love you guys and this is great. So it's really fortunate that I get to do things that, you know, I'm
Are
a
you
fan of.
satisfied with your success? Do you ever get to a place where you're like, okay,
I kind of did it. I kind of peaked.
yeah.
I tell you what.
Maybe not peaked, but like I've fulfilled some goals, you know.
Yeah, I've got one or two just like on the directing list. One is a little.
Which are?
I got to tell you, I want to direct Garth Brooks.
Really?
I got to tell you, I want to put hand. I think this guy is an unbelievable form. And look, does this mean I'm rolling in my car and listening to Garth Brooks? Hell no. But I do just think the guy's the man. I like what he does on stage, and I want in.
Interesting.
What's the other one?
I wanted Prince. I wanted to direct Prince, and I just did not. You know, I have these, and so I really wanted to direct him again. A fantastic performer. Everything else,
Oscars. What about the Oscars?
Too much pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, and I came closer to it than I will ever. It's just no.
I want to let you know. Last year we were at Fox, and we were over there by the craft service table, and you were talking about it, and you were actually running the numbers through your head about how much time you could take off to get out of that stress.
do the Oscars?
afterwards.
Yes.
Oh,
And it was
wow.
like numbers. I could take 6 months off. So it's been in your mind.
Yeah.
It's on the table.
Yeah, it's on the
It's
table.
on.
And look, I would never, at some point I have to, because let's spin it back a little bit here to where we're talking about race.
Yes.
There is no doubt about it that it would be a ton of pressure, but I would love to represent and knock that thing out of the park.
Yes.
So with that being said, I would love to represent and go, yeah.
And look how bad you nailed it.
Look, exactly.
And you guys.
And maybe even slip a couple of black actors in for nominees.
That is correct.
You know,
We
every
do
now
that
and
as
then.
well.
Yeah.
Well,
That
you
is-
have to.
Yeah.
So that's what in that regards, I would love to quote represent and really knock that
That's
thing out of
cool.
the park. So that's what I would love to do.
You said you got close to it. If they sit you down and say, guess what? We want you to do it.
I would have to do it.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, I would have to do it. So it's about that thing that I teach my kid about not backing away or being afraid of taking that next step. It's the exact same thing. So I can't talk all that shit and then all of a sudden your pops wants to be
Yeah,
part
you got to
of
go
that.
no
And
fear.
now I'm in.
Especially in this town.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
when an opportunity comes, you have to
That
have
is
to
correct.
snap.
So I would have to go for it. And I'd surround myself with good people. I work with really terrific people.
I would hope that you would win an Emmy for your Oscar.
I'm really
you
hoping.
know,
Now I do
for your
want
Oscar
one.
direction.
I'm desperate for an Emmy. I can't even front.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of surrounding yourselves, now I'm going to plant the seed right here now. I don't want you to answer it because I don't want my heart to be broken, but I want.
I'll answer.
I want to get on Tony's list for something outside of the NFL.
First of all, can I say something? Do you know how good he is at other things that he does?
Yes, audience
do.
warm up. He was
Yeah, yeah.
phenomenal.
He's the best.
Yeah,
Best in the business.
I appreciate that.
I was extremely impressed.
Thank
and
you.
I've been around a lot of audience warm up guys. You
I
killed.
appreciate that.
He's the
Killed.
guy.
Engaging. The audience loved him. He kept them interested. It was great.
I appreciate that. But I'm talking about camera.
Okay.
And let me tell you why.
All right.
I have not, and I shot camera for years before I slipped into warm up. You have this ability to bring out the best in your crew. And I know what it takes on game day morning. And you guys, if you're just dropping in on 1 Degree of Chunky B, we've got Tony McCuin in A Garage of Love.
Director of
a whole bunch of things. But the pearl at the NFL Network is Game Day Morning.
That's the one.
With a collage of talent beyond anything Fox
There's
can
really
put
good
together.
talent. Holy cow.
I mean, we can go with it. You got 88, Michael Irvin. You've got Kurt
you got
Warner.
the Mooch, right?
And then you got Coach
Steve
Mariucci. And then you've got Rich Eisen. And then, of course, Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
And Kurt Warner. And you've got a collage of these people that have all different personalities. Sometimes you got Rich Eisen trying to be smack dab as professional and tick, 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 tick. And you've got the funny comedic stylings of 88, Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
That sometimes you look over at like Kurt Warner or you look over at Rich Eisen and they're like, how are we going to do this? It's like a backyard production with Michael Irving as far as his fun.
And the man's pulling all the
and
puppet
the glue
strings, right?
is right here.
He's the
The
puppeteer.
glue is, and the reason, I'm going to get back to this camera thing. I have never shot camera for a guy that allows the operators to take risks. It's a 4-hour live program. Lesser camera operators, lesser production, lesser directors could crumble at any given moment, especially the pressure.
It's live, man.
If you want,
Yeah, it
and
is.
here's something, guys, tune in Sunday mornings when the football season starts.
When's the first one?
We do a special, I want to say September 6th, and then we do another special September 8th, and then the show premiere will be September 11th.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I am booked on all those.
That is correct.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
you are.
fantastic.
And you know something? This man who didn't know me, and I got on that list through somehow, at the end, and he said, I don't know this guy Chunky B.
Thank God he was colorblind.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
But he
correct.
said yes. And then I've been asked back.
Chunky's life matters.
I've been asked back for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, luckily he hasn't paid much attention
the
to your
thing is-
camera. You know what I mean?
Untrue. Nice try. But one thing that Mr. McCuin does do is he allows each operator to maximize the potential of making that shot better and taking risks. I've gotten caught a couple times.
Yeah.
I've gotten popped. But
Doing a selfie, you mean?
No,
I know you, Chunk.
There's one thing that's funny about Game Day morning and the relationship I have with Tony and the rest of the crew and producers. I made a mistake about 3 years ago, and it was like it was yesterday.
Oh, it's still fresh.
And you know something? And
Still fresh.
and Tony knows exactly what I'm talking about. I had to do with that pan shot. 2 years later, they
It's still the running gag.
yeah, and we can do something with Austin, our other good-looking quieter camera. Reed, the grandfather of the NFL,
That is
Reed
correct.
Samuel. You could be the grumpiest guy, tear your head off at the same time, give you the Band-Aid to put your head back on your
Right.
neck.
Yep.
Right.
That's Reed.
If he ever messes up.
It's all good.
No.
Yeah, nobody's
Chunky
saying.
messes up and people get fucking tattoos. Chunky pan too fast.
It is a festival.
But that's why I want you to take a risk on one. Just give me one day outside of this.
I
because-
will do that.
And even Gene Bernard,
Sure.
he brought me on his pilot, and he was like, Chunky, I apologize. I didn't know that you have game outside the NFL. I'm like, the NFL is a great place. I love the NFL.
Yeah.
But you're stuck in a pattern.
Sure.
And your creativity as an operator or shooter are limited. Sunday mornings, you have a little more freedom because it's a little more chaotic.
Yeah, they're doing stuff. They're throwing the
tons.
ball around.
Right, right. So I'm planting the seed, and it doesn't. And this is one thing that Tony, when I was just getting to know Tony a couple years ago, I'm like, hey Tony, how do I get on your list of an operator? He goes, it's a long list, dude.
Well, you got on it somehow.
Well, you did. That's right. He's still,
And for example, like a good friend of mine, Helena Jackson.
yes.
Totally adores you.
Yep.
And you know something? If you need a reference, talk to her because she goes up to bat for me all the time.
And she's a terrific camera operator.
yes, she is, and she's a great person.
Let me ask him to
Absolutely
take another risk. Can I ask him?
Take another risk.
All right. You direct a ton of live stuff.
Uh-huh.
Give us a couple of good stories, like some good F-ups. man.
I don't, I don't have a,
no
I'm
one's ever effed up bad. Like,
Did you have to get Snoop out of his dressing room?
yeah, like
no,
a cloud coming out?
and I have
Yeah,
directed
Ice-T
Snoop before.
ever,
I've directed Snoop. It was fine. I didn't have any issues. Rap is so easy to direct for me as well anyway because it's a one-trick pony. It just kind of goes, you grab your nuts, you throw your hands in the air, you keep it pushing.
Right.
So I'm
Like
not
you just don't care.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So and there's a little bit of a story there.
If you're the
But-
true player.
Yeah, if you're a true player, then that is correct. But there's a certain way that rap is cut that it doesn't require a lot of this or that. Gospel by far is the hardest thing.
So not one thing's ever happened live that kind of freaked you out of the booth a little bit?
Any
No,
cameras
and
going
I
down?
gotta tell you,
Wow. That's a good
no,
record.
the closest I got is probably public access. Because they would do live shows every Saturday, and I can remember doing this thing, and this guy was he was a guy that talked about how he was a conspiracy theorist, which may not be such a conspiracy theorist anymore, but like McDonald's hamburgers have aluminum in them and blah blah blah, and this has this, and all these seasonings are really bad for you. They contain formaldehyde, and so as he's talking about this, he starts this sneezing attack.
Oh, great.
So he's sneezing and he's sneezing and he's sneezing, right? And then all of a sudden, I cut off of him because naturally we're live. So rule number 1 is always protect the talent.
Did you go to that little guy with the broom?
I just kind of go to a wide shot, and then I do a cutaway, and then I cut back to the guy because he's now talking again, and he's got a snot. Oh,
nice.
right here,
Nice.
just hanging right on his lip. And I'm like, holy shit.
Damn, that's cable access gold right there,
Right there.
people.
So he's got a snot on his.
Zoom in.
Yeah, yep. And he's got a snot right there. So I go, holy shit. Take the 2 shot back to the host.
Yeah.
And then I say, tell the stage manager, yo, motion him to wipe his face to get his face up. So the stage manager gets his attention. I'm hanging on the 2, back to the single, but I won't take a single of him. And he does it. He's good. I'll go back to the single of him. He's got a stripe from here all the way to his fucking ear. And so I went the last 20 minutes of him with a snot stripe all the way to his ear. And that was how he did it like a little kid. So he didn't do that. He just went that way. And it just went right to his ear all the way down.
Then you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm out. I mean, and that's what it was. That's what happened. I was like, I'm out. Thanks for playing. Good
If
night.
you can't get a snot
I was
off.
in. He can do. Yep, you deserve this. You
That's
earned
it.
it. Yep. And that's what I got.
That's amazing.
We mentioned earlier the love we have, of course, for our children.
Yes.
Gary Adler, he's got a youngster on the path of being a professional surfer. Andy Davey has a young daughter that just hit Venice High and is doing competitive volleyball on the school team, on the JVs. And I've got a kid that's rocking the lacrosse.
Sure is.
And
And the football.
and then he's doing football at Pally High. And Gary's made some unbelievable reels just for sponsorships and stuff like that. But when you're doing surfing, I mean, you've got not a whole lot of choices.
Yeah, unless the guy's got a GoPro and he's riding right next to you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not like you can do. Sure.
Then, I've got just my little camera up in the stands for Jack's football and his lacrosse. But I've got a hold of Tony McCuin's kids' basketball reel. And I want to let you know, this guy breaks it down like nobody's business. And the graphics, he puts the arrow on the court.
Nice.
And he goes, okay, he's going to cut left, cut right, do a twist, boom. And then all of a sudden he does the pass.
Kevin Frazier
it's
did the narration
great.
on it.
Yeah.
And there's a libero. Yeah, we did that. In fact, it got so bad that I sent it to a college coach, who just happens to also be a friend of mine. I won't say the name, but he sent it to him and he goes, yeah, you have too much production.
Less is more.
Yeah, exactly.
Less is more, Tony.
Exactly. But it was just like, it's too much. You can't.
Right,
you can't
right.
do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah, just let him play. Yeah.
But you are also vocal.
Yes.
Now, the one that I see, did your wife or a friend do the videotape? Did the camera work? Was there some time? Because there was one time I saw, and you were not holding the camera. You were
My wife. My wife. Because I got too into the game that I could never record it. So you just see the lens start to go sideways.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, so.
And does she get? Do you get on her nerves at all when
Yes.
you say 2 shot, 1
Yes.
shot, close up?
I just get on her nerves, I think, in general.
yeah.
Can you? Every now and then, I can't be at a contest and my wife's there.
Sure.
And it's like, FaceTime, do something, give me the play-by-play. It's never right. It's
Right.
never right.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. One time, it was a basketball game, and they came back, and I'm FaceTiming with her,
Right.
and there's a second left in the game, and the kid's gonna hit the 3 for the winner. Puts up the 3. The camera goes to the floor, and I'm like, what? What happened? What happened? All I hear is mayhem, and then she's like, they won. I'm like, well,
I didn't see it. Are you kidding me?
Right. How about when you get the scores and they don't tell you
yeah,
who's winning?
they don't know.
It's 5-4, really close.
They're like,
My wife has gotten much better at that.
Oh, yeah?
She used to
That's
didn't do
good.
that, but now she's like, we're up, we're down. Now what she can't do is tell me if he scored. Did he score? Don't know. I think he hit some kind of shot. So I get that. But she's been very good about keeping me honest.
Where's how old is your son now?
He's 17.
17.
Yep.
17. So
high school.
Senior?
Senior. That is correct. He's senior this year.
And he's still playing ball?
Yes.
And does he want to continue in college?
Yes.
What
He has-
school?
He
Where
goes
we
to
going?
Hart High School, which is in
Hart
Santa
High
Clarita.
School.
Yep. Now
Santa Clarita.
Yep. So it's a great school. He's not sure if he's going to play for them or not.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's not going to play because there's several other leagues now. Now that outside leagues have actually gotten hotter than actually kind of like AAU is kind of dominating.
Yeah,
high school
like travel
basketball.
ball with
That is
baseball,
correct.
yeah, all
So he
that.
has a terrific travel ball team. A guy by the name of Tommy Mitchell and Whitney Mitchell, and they run King of the Court basketball, KODC.
Nice.
And Tommy, I couldn't have asked. My son has had. Look, he's been very fortunate to have great coaches in terms of trainers in his life.
So important.
Yeah. Do not underestimate that. I cannot
So
say that
important,
enough as a dad. And I'm not talking about daddy ball where he lets my son play, so I think he's a great coach. No.
Right.
We're talking about that guy that kind of takes it off the court and kind of segues into life.
Right.
And how this is all going to work. You want that guy. He's very fortunate. He had a guy named Lance Jackson, whose son, Lonnie Jackson, was an ESPN top 25 player and wound up playing at Boston University, or Boston College, rather. Right. And then the person he has now, as I mentioned, Tommy Mitchell, was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. So he drafted the same year as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So he played 3 years with the Warriors and still trains and all that other stuff. So what he has done for my son in terms of on the court and off the court just cannot be measured.
Awesome.
Yeah, and his wife played at Rice, and she was a shooting guard, and she kills. She can outshoot anybody in the Valley. So he's getting really pro training. And look, I might as well be giving a guy $2.50 with the amount of time that he spends with my son. Like, he just teaches him about things like even in becoming a college player, not just college player, but what college life is like. I'm the dad.
Yep.
This guy's definitely the big brother. He hears him differently.
Are
And
you
you're
doing the
right.
daddy dance on the sidelines? Or can you maintain?
I've gotten better.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I've gotten better. I used to do the little dance and
Yeah.
shift and move, and then I would wait in the hallway and just kind of look through the door of the gym.
Right, you're all nervous.
But now I've gotten a little bit better. I've definitely gotten better.
Yeah. And my son, like any.
By the way,
any kid.
Complete badass, your son.
I appreciate.
Oh,
that.
isn't he?
Oh my God.
Oh.
He's a beast.
I appreciate that. We've got this thing, like, he'll give me the look if I'm stepping out of bounds, meaning, too loud.
Yeah, shut up.
But I want to let you know, I've been really good for the last couple of years.
Me too.
Maybe it's
Really?
Yeah.
I remember you first couple
Yeah, I was
contests on the
terrible.
beach.
I was terrible too.
Whistling like. Now I sit in a chair and just video. I picked up videoing
Yeah.
because it keeps me occupied.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But
he does give me that look.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
But what he does like, his teammates will come up to him after the game like, "Oh, your dad's awesome. Your dad's awesome." And we were in Del Mar this summer, and we were all having a dinner. It must have been 20 of us at a table, and I could hear the other kids talking to Jack. Your dad is so cool.
that's right.
Give me another garlic knot. Come on, hook me up.
Yeah.
So it's I enjoy it though. It's definitely one of those things that, as a senior, I almost worry about it. I'm gonna miss it so badly.
Oh,
and I hear
yeah.
other dads talk about it too. I will definitely. I will miss it. Should he not go on from there? It's not the gospel. He's not expected to play in college. He's expected to go to college, just not necessarily to play in college.
But playing or not playing, just leaving home.
Oh.
I'm gonna freak out.
Oh my God.
Yep, absolutely.
You know,
My kid already left home, so I'm cool.
Really?
Yeah, I never see him.
he's older. The older one.
He's 16. He's got a car. I never see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. They live up in Topanga.
Okay.
Going to Pali and surf kids, like be honest.
Yeah. that's
No, real quick. How do you cheer when they're surfing? Can they see you? Can they hear you?
Yeah, you develop a signal, like little signals, and we
Right.
do it really quietly now. Like it used to be whistles and blah blah blah. If I see a couple of waves come in, I'll just give him a little, and then he knows that's mine, and then he knows to paddle out a little bit further.
Sure.
And that's kind of it, really. If he's drifted off a little far, I'll go like that or something, and he'll move down.
And I've
But-
seen that in action, and it's like a whistle
Yeah.
that you wouldn't think it would get past the surf, but as soon as that whistle, your sounds like a dog. Like, what?
Yeah, he
That's
knows
so
there's
funny.
something
That's
a little
interesting.
bit.
He
Yeah.
hears it over the waves.
Yeah, and that happens all through all competitions in surfing with coaches and stuff like that. But it's the dads that, and it usually happens in your couple rookie years. They're standing up, they're yelling, they're do this, come in, but and it's just like, dude, let your kid. Surf.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was that guy for
were
a
that
good
guy.
year
And I was that guy
couple
on the court.
seasons.
I was the exact same guy on the court. Now I just say sayings to him. So sometimes, like if he's bringing the ball up court because he plays the point guard position, I just always say the words, find out if he can guard you.
Yeah.
And, automatically, exploit the ISO. That
There you go.
We're going to find out right away if this guy can guard you or not. And then that'll determine how you moving forward.
Interesting.
And so, and then I just got to the point where I say, don't you want to know? And he knows what that means.
Right.
Don't you want to find out if this guy can guard you?
Yeah.
So just coming down and just arbitrarily giving up the pass when sometimes that best option may be you. So we just kind of started doing
That's
these little
awesome.
things there that we just kind of start to understand. And then, he got smarter than me. He really started to understand the game to the point to where I almost can't.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you
They play
realize
longer, too.
they're playing the game.
Ultimately,
So
yes.
you say a couple words before the game. Good luck. I love you.
That's
Go
correct.
get
I do
them.
it all
And
the
then you
time,
sit down and you watch the fucking game.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. And so, I still kind of, what a move and blah, blah, blah. I have to get him out of the habit, which is my own fault, that if something does go wrong, he looks over at me. And so I kind of have to go, no. Nature of the beast.
Yeah.
The kids really, and look, do you ever spot kids that and look, he surprises me more than not. Because there are a lot of times when he's walked out on the floor and I'm like, you're about to get your ass kicked. And I know it. There's something about, look, your son, you kind of go, that kid is 6'3", 275. You stand no shot. Like there are times when he walks out on the floor and I go, you're about to get your ass kicked.
Ugly.
And let's just, Dad, get over it.
Sometimes they lose the game during warm-up.
Yeah. And it just happens. And you just kind of go, he's going to get his lunch handed to him. Yeah. I kid you not, I'll bet you 8 out of 10 times he winds up giving that kid the business.
Oh, no kidding.
And I am just
So he's got
stunned.
potential, but it's not a make or break.
No. But I'm just stunned at how he plays and how he always proves me wrong. And so now I have this thing that I love when you prove your dad wrong. I love when I think that you
That's
can
great.
do something that you can do. And look, have I had these situations where, and I'll leave you with this quick story. I can remember us playing city basketball before you move up the club ball and city ball, and our neighbor across the street, and he was just like, from one old house we stayed at, his son was playing on the opposite team. And it was, good to see you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm coaching my son. He's going to be here when my son is playing. And he looks at me and he goes, well, I remember the words. He says, they're friends off the court. They're enemies on the court.
Oh, my God.
And I went, oh, shit. His son is about to give my son the business.
Yeah, man.
And so the game starts and my son comes in and the first thing my son, and I'm like, and now I got to live with this guy who lives across the street from me. He walks out on my son comes up on him. He crosses him over to the floater. Bang.
Nice.
What? And I stood up and I said, it is going to be like this all day. All day long. And sure, the son comes down, hits a 3, good, crosses him over again. The kid slips and falls. He starts crying. My son scores again. I'm like, welcome to the show, bitches. Like, I'm really.
And welcome to the neighborhood.
Exactly. So I'm gone now. Because my dude did that to me. He hung 18 on this kid.
That's great.
And I was just like, I got to get better. And the dude he couldn't look at me anymore because he didn't realize what an ass I was. But I thought my son was going to get beat. And all of a sudden, my dude gave him the business. And so I get a lot of that. So I always do that when he plays in those Vegas tournaments. And he plays against teams from Sacramento. He played against a top team from Dallas, in Houston, blah, 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 blah. I always do this thing, and I'll say this. I always go, they don't know who you are. They never heard of you. Yeah. And it is to remind him that all these guys think they're ESPN top 100s and top this. Yeah. Nobody knows who that little point guard is from Santa Clarita.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Go give him the business.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for you,
mine is
man.
look him in the eye. Just look him in the eye.
Yep, I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're walking on the field and boom, you just stare him in the eye.
Yep.
And then one of my little things is the rule. I'll yell the rule. And he knows that means the number one rule is you can't make a play if you don't have the ball. I'm talking about in lacrosse.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times these kids, they're getting the ball and they're turning their head. Like if you're catching a pass, you're turning upstream. And you can't. And it's a number one thing I'm saying to Jack because he gets anxious, looks up there and turns away. He's like not catching the ball. So that was our code.
Yep.
What's in your future? Change the subject. What's in your future? What do you want?
Oh, geez. Besides world peace?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to. I guess from a professional standpoint, I won an Emmy, and I mentioned that earlier.
I'm surprised you haven't won one.
You know what? And been nominated.
That's shocking.
Best Damn Sports Show got nominated. Game Day Morning got nominated, I want to say twice.
Yeah.
And a few other things, but just haven't won one. So I want that. That's kind of a real personal. I always said that if I won one, I would do. You ever see those Kobe Bryant pictures with the old Bryant Trophy NBA players?
Yeah.
I would just totally do a photo shoot, like naked, holding the freaking image.
Nice.
I would just do a shitload of pictures.
Hey,
But-
Tony, I will, on the way out, I'll let you hold mine.
Yo, do you hear me? Oh, my life sucks already.
And then I'll let you hold his Emmy.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, what was I gonna say, Chunky? I don't remember.
I do have something to say. Is it a secret about the new set?
Oh,
You
that's
know,
what I was gonna
I
say.
think it's kind of a secret. I don't know if they really want to let that out. In fact, I don't even know when I shoot the special if that part of the set will even be shown.
Yeah.
If I'll be at the main desk. I'm excited about using it though.
How much
Yeah.
of the actual like schedule of things to talk about and do during the day are you involved in?
Quite a bit.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, because my producer, Andy Gregg, is just absolutely phenomenal. And even everyone around him, you know, Leah and Charlie, who's involved, and Aisha, and they're just all, Tom Self, I mean, just really, really, really good people that are very inclusive. I think that what works is because I just think that Andy, who worked at Jimmy Kimmel, has got a little bit of an entertainment dude in him. You know, funny stuff that he does, which is why our guys are a little different. So you have to involve the director early when you're talking about stuff like that. And I like taking his ideas and making them as real as possible, because real equals funny. So
Yep.
the more I make them take this seriously, that we really are doing a game show, the funnier the game show seems.
That's good.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what makes a parody funny, is if they almost shot for shot match what they're doing a parody about. So so they involved me pretty early, and they're very inclusive. I mean, and you know, I couldn't have a better boss than Jen Love, you
Yes.
know, who is always just supportive, and I want to see if you can try this, or, you know, tell me what you think about this. And then even like the EPs are just from Q to everyone. They're just all Jordan Levin. They're just all Rick. They're just all fantastic people who are also entertainment people. So it's
It's a team effort.
that it's a team effort, and you have to think about how sports is going.
Are you the coach or the quarterback?
I consider myself the quarterback.
Okay.
That I'm the guy that runs the offense.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, with these parodies that Tony just mentioned, there's been some there's two of them that stick out in my head that were absolutely hilarious. One when the boys were in the bunk beds,
Yes.
full on comedy, and then was it the tandem bicycle?
That is correct. The tandem bicycle.
And that was Kurt and
That was Kurt, and that was Michael Irvin, talking about wide receiver quarterback tandems. And we did the whole green screen like Jon
Oh, that's
Stewart
good.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so the scenes kept changing in the background.
Yeah.
So, but those are the type of things that we do that I think that sets the show apart.
Has Chunky ever pitched you his interstitial show called the Ultimate Tailgating League?
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
I think is great.
and I want to let you know, no,
That's our project,
Yeah,
yes.
he banged on some doors.
Yeah.
and it's still lukewarm.
Is it?
You do something. I'm going to let that simmer. Of course, not this season.
We don't have a lot of time.
No. I'm going to
again,
let that
just getting
simmer.
started.
I'm in touch with Alan Flowers.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he's just going to
Let it
might be-
marinate.
Yeah, let it marinate.
That's a good word for that.
This is one thing that's crazy about this new season coming up on Game Day Morning on NFL Network. And if you guys are just bopping in the last half of this show, Tony McCuin, do yourself a favor, Google him. And you're going to be like, how did we get this guy
Double
as a guest?
C-U-I-N.
Yeah. Big C, little c.
U-I-N.
That's it.
Yes.
Irish guy.
That is correct. I have to say Bailey's.
Right on.
Bailey's Irish Cream. That's it.
I am so excited about this new set that we can't talk about because it is
Is it
something
Emmy award
way
winning?
different. I think so.
Come on.
Come on.
I think it's
NFL
state of the
Game
art,
Day.
clean, classy, not what you would think. Like, whoa, these guys are taking a risk. And I want to let you know, it all even jives with the design of the new stadium.
Oh, nice.
And I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to be saying this stuff.
Wow, that's cool.
But my dear good friend Dave Shaw,
yeah, no one knows who that is.
yeah, he's a big wig at the NFL. You know, just wait, you guys. I know this is not primarily a sports podcast, but we've had Heath Evans.
Wow, Heath.
Nate Jackson.
And Nate Jackson, but he's not part of the
Jeff Rower,
Yeah, but they're not part of the team.
Nate Boyer.
Nate Boyer. You remember Nate?
Yeah.
No, who's Nate?
He was a college guy that went to Afghanistan.
Yes,
three
yes,
times.
yes, 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 yes.
Right, and he was a walk-on in Texas.
Yes.
Then he got a tryout at Seattle.
Yes.
He was on. But here's my goal: that you will walk to the NFL Network, and if it comes up organically, to coach. That say, hey, I was on 1 Degree of Chunky B, because he's promising.
Mariucci.
Mariucci. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone knows him as coach. So,
Yeah.
And his assistant, Zach,
Yes.
sat
Zach
right
Asak.
there.
Love Zach.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
he was a
yeah.
football player.
Yeah,
He was
Zach.
Duke. He was
Love
at-
Zach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love Mooch.
Mooch is a crack up.
Who would you guys be going up against for the Emmy? All the other networks.
That is correct. So
basically,
you would
right?
go up, and you're talking sports Emmy. So you're talking
That's
about
tough. That's a tough
It
category,
is,
man.
especially when you think about guys like TNT basketball.
Oh,
which
oh,
does
it's all that.
It's all that. So you guys, I know the guys over there very well. In fact, he was my TD, Steve Fiorello, who's a terrific director. You know, those guys, they do a great job there as well. But I think we have something. I think we have the best guys.
That's good.
Period. And I work with a lot of guys. These guys are fantastic, and I understand them all so well. So that's part of my process, is that I sit in the meetings, and even though I'm not maybe saying anything, I just figure out where they're poking each other with a stick. And then I know every now and then, Chunky, I'll just say,
Give that guy the stick.
I'll just say, Chunky, give me a single shot of Mooch, because I'm telling you right now,
It's about
to go down. And
Yeah.
sure enough, it goes down. So I like their personalities.
Yeah.
And then even the guy who is funny and talented, and he's already talented, and that we know, but he's also very funny. He's got a dry wit, is Rich Eisen.
Yep.
And there are ways now that I'm starting to use him and infuse him in this discussion, that I'm making Rich my voice. So he's the voice of my fan. I'm
Oh,
the
that's
fan.
good.
Where a lot of times it can be a bit of a club. These guys are all NFL players, and what does that guy know about anything? But Rich asked the questions that me on TV, or as I like to say, it's my Mystery Science Theater 3000 way of directing.
There you go.
Where you're kind of yelling at the screen and you're telling all these jokes.
Right.
Rich is that guy that is kind of yelling at the screen for me and saying, "Are you telling me that the Cowboys are the best?" You know,
Right,
I use
right.
him for that guy.
That's
Right
good.
on.
And he's funny, he's quick, he can get me out of trouble and get me back on track.
And professional.
And professional.
Remember last
Yeah.
season, the teleprompter went out?
Yeah, he'll kill it. He'll kill
They
it.
just nailed it.
And all the guys, I mean, they're all stars. I saw Mike Moore on CBS than I did, I think, Angela Lansbury. I mean, he was just on every show. And so they're all just, Marshall is so smart, and truth be told, should be really a general manager. Like, if you hear him in meetings and what he knows about player personnel and the way players should be used, your mouth just drops. And by far, you'd be stunned at how funny Kurt Warner is and how he really takes that seriously. Like, for a minute, I really thought Kirk's coming back. Like, he still throws the ball and he's still sharp. And if the project was right, I kind of thought, is he making a run? Is he really gonna? And for a hot minute, I was like, I'm sitting on my hands right now because Warner's coming back. So he's still got those competitive juices, and it's amazing how competitive they are. So Kirk's never forgiven Mooch for cutting him, because Kirk was at Green Bay, I believe, first.
Oh my God, I did not realize
That's
this.
why they make the joke about, you're the one that cut him, and he went up and lit your ass up for freaking 4 touchdowns.
Oh,
So that's always the running gag. So there's so many. If you watch the show, after a while you start to catch on to what the gags are, and every now and then you'll just see them laugh for no reason.
Yeah.
They're not laughing for no reason. They know they're sticking it to one of their dudes that they did in a meeting.
That's
They
fun.
carried over.
Before we wrap this up, I got to tell you a quick Mooch story. Down in Del Mar about a month ago, and I go into a restaurant. We were doing a lacrosse tourney, and Jack was with his team. So I went to this one restaurant that I used to go to because I used to live down there. And I sit at the bar, and I'm by myself, and I order, and there's this woman sitting next to me. She goes, "Are you a football fan?" I'm like, yeah, I'm a football fan. Well, there's a guy that used to coach on the NFL, and I look over, and it's Mooch, and I'm like, I'm gonna go say hello. And the woman's like, "Don't. We're very cool here.
That's
All
awesome.
right. Don't be that guy that gets up there." I'm like, I love this guy. I have to say hello.
Right.
And I get up, I walk around. She even holds my arm for a second. Please don't. I'm like, I got to do this. And I walk around and I say, hey, Coach, how you doing? It's Chunky B. And it didn't click. It's like, oh, good. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And he stops and looks over and goes, Chunky B, gets up, hugs Best,
hilarious.
introduces me to everybody at the table.
Nice.
Everything's
That's so cool.
Yeah, and we're talking. I go back to that spot, and the woman goes, who the fuck are you? and so the story.
Chunky B, man.
That's right.
The
Sure,
story.
you see my movies, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. The story ends with, I go over to the waitress. I said, I want to send him a bottle of wine. What is he drinking? Blah, blah, blah. Reserve, $250 a bottle.
Ah, brutal.
I'm like, I don't like Coach that
No,
much.
Yeah,
tap water. Yeah,
that's all right.
Camera operator.
Yeah, that's
okay?
right.
Send him over some Astaglow.
Don't confuse the two. But you also did UFC with me as well, right? Didn't you do?
I did like one or two times,
You
and
and
I'm always available for you.
I will put you on that show. It is a great cast as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Karen Bryant and Kenny Florian and Daniel Cormier are three of the absolute best. And then the producers there with Donovan Tarr and Sonny Sahlberg, George Greenberg at the helm, and Bill Richards.
I
Great
love
squad.
working.
Great
I love
squad.
working over at Fox.
Great squad.
I just wish I was there more often. And here's another thing. When I got excited that you committed to coming on 1 Degree of Chunky B, I was like, hey, I got Tony McCuin. I was asking other operators. No one, even off record, can dog you. Nobody. Seriously,
He got somebody.
No, I even went to Devin Atwood today.
Really?
Yes. And he's like, you got Tony? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're doing something right. Tell Tony I said hello.
I haven't heard Devin's my man. He did jib for me.
Yes.
Quite a bit.
He
yeah.
told me that today.
Yeah, Devin's my dude.
Right on.
Yeah, Devin's my dude. I've been again, very, very blessed, very fortunate. Again, back to good TV is colorblind.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you lead and you believe in that crew and you make them better, they make you better.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I definitely am a firm believer in that.
There you go.
Tony McCuin, guys, please Google him. We are blessed to have this guy, and I want to let you know you've got a key to the garage.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I'm telling
Nice.
you, a month from now, hey, dude, you could sit in. We can have another guest, and you could be just shooting the shit with the fellas. Okay,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anytime
there you
you
go.
want, just hey, Chunky, you got another mic? We will set something.
We'll
up.
figure something
Yeah,
out.
maybe you want to sit in as guest director.
Yeah. Yes.
Andy, you'll be the guest.
Yeah.
Yo, I'll switcheroo.
Oh, that's a great
I'll bring a
idea.
jib.
Again,
Yeah, we'll
about
bring
time,
some
Gary
equipment.
I'll bring a
Adler.
jib and a steady. It'd be great.
We do need a jib in here.
Right. But you know what we need? We're gonna get Coach. We're gonna get Coach.
It'd be a good
Ah,
guest.
it'd be so good.
Yeah.
It's got great stories too, by the way.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we just got to know Tony McCuin even better than I ever thought. He's a great guy. Thank you for being here. 1 Degree of Chunky B, ChunkyB.tv. You guys keep those messages coming. I love them. We're growing. We're badasses.
Yeah.
Gary Adler,
Good show today. Thank
It's
you,
a
Chunky.
great show.
Thank you,
Thank you
Tony.
for having me.
Gary
it's an
Adler,
honor.
Andy Davey. I am Chunky B. We are. We're out. Be real. Be kind. Be cool. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you guys.